Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be one of the most important videos that I make for NHL 22. Now, in a prior video, I talked about which X Factors I thought were actually pretty good when you leveled them up, everything like that. But I wanted to go in depth, run all of the numbers, and find out if each X Factor is actually worth investing in. So I spent a few hours and gathered all of the important information about every single X Factor. I'm talking about the total cost to go from the tier 1 to the final tier early on in the game. I'm talking about how much will it cost to upgrade afterwards? Do their zone abilities impact it? Are they fast enough? Do they have value elsewhere other than, the zone abilities, whether it be height, speed, all of that? And I went and I found out which ones exactly are actually worth investing in. Now, this is going to be very important because early on in the game, everyone is going to be doing the 5 X Factor choice pack where you get to choose between 5 random X Factors, and you're going to need to do that set. And I wanted to get this video out and make sure that you know exactly what you're going into and if they are actually worth investing in. Now, there's a couple of variables I need to discuss, guys. If you have the base card, that is going to dramatically change my thoughts on some of these X Factors. If you get an untradeable base card for one of these X Factors, that eliminates the highest cost currently for them. However, there is an expensive cost afterwards, and we'll get into all of that if it is worth it again to do the upgrade. Next, speed kills. Guys, one of the biggest determining factors for these X Factors is their speed. It is not the end-all be-all, but for the most part, speed is going to be what impacts the game more than anything. With that being said, you need to remember that when an upgrade happens to one of these cards, it does not go up by +1, it goes up by 0.5. Meaning that if you have an 84 overall Seth Jones and he's got 87 speed, when his 85 comes out, there's no guarantee that he has 88 speed. So just keep that in mind. And when you're looking at the values of all of these cards early on, you have to remember that they only go up if there is event releases or they have a primetime or team of the week by performing really well in the NHL. So defensemen that do not score, like Jacob Slavin, it is going to be very difficult for him to get upgrades to his X Factor because he does not play the type of style that would warrant a lot of live series content. All right, guys, that's enough out of me. We're all ready to go. Let's go find out exactly which X Factors are worth investing in. All right, guys, we are going to go from lowest overall to highest overall. If you guys do not see a card, it means that they are 100% not worth the upgrade. And again, if you have the base card of some of these, I will touch on them very briefly. We will kick things off with the 74 Seth Jones. When you fully upgrade him, it's going to cost you 9,750 coins. He has 87 speed off the rip and quick pick. A very, very good combination, okay? When you consider the fact that he's 6'4", 87 speed is definitely usable, especially at launch, and quick pick is one of the better zone abilities to have. This card is going to allow you to defend the blue line very easily, and again, for only 9,750 coins, you're going to have him. There's not really any cheaper defensemen that are going to go for around 10K that give you this kind of value, so Seth Jones is definitely a valuable X Factor early on. Next, we've got Dougie Hamilton. So it will cost you 24,500 coins to get this card activated all the way to the final level. Now, he only has 86 speed, but he does have Workhorse when he hits his final tier, and that will play into a lot of these cards, guys, because the speed synergies are still ones that you should activate because on the cards that have them, they do help out quite a bit. So I'm going to touch on that as I go through all of these. So his acceleration gets up to 89 with Workhorse. It's his superstar and zone abilities that are really, really good. I think that make him a really good combination. Seeing eye to give him shots on goaltenders that are screened and give him an advantage is a huge bonus, especially with the meta so far early on with tipping and shooting from the point. And he's got Heat Seeker. I'm not huge on upgrade or using this if you have other better zone abilities, but it is very good for this one if you do not have any other ones. So all in all, this is a very good card. Now, again, he is a little bit slower and his speed is going to drag behind, but because he's 6'6" and has good zone abilities and his acceleration's already up to 89 with Workhorse, you've got a really, really good card for under 25,000 coins. Next is Adam Fox. 24,750 coins will go from tier 1 to tier 7. Now, Adam Fox is a little bit on the line here. He is just barely worth it in my opinion, and here is why. You're going to need booming shot and Gladiator activated. So if you can get both of those synergies activated, this card becomes quite good. And the reason is he's 5'11". On defense, guys, having smaller defensemen means that they are not going to be able to bump players off the puck. So having a smaller defenseman, someone under 6 foot, is kind of a tough adjustment unless they make up for it in other areas. Now, his speed and acceleration are 88 across the board, which is good, but you are going to need to spend some more coins to get up to that 90 overall speed, which is really where the elite starts, and 90 overall speed at this stage in the game is going to last you until about December when we've got higher overalls and whatnot. So just keep that in mind. If you can get Booming Shot activated, though, and Gladiator, that'll give him +6 body checking, and then you're looking at 84 on the board for that, and that's fine and very usable, making him quite good. I'm not huge on tape to tape. I think that there are better ways for defensemen to use their zone abilities because there's a really easy way to break the puck out without passing, and I will show you that in another video. Please subscribe, that way you don't miss it. And Elite Edges is very good as well. It allows you to make some cuts and dance out of the zone. His shot is okay. It's nothing crazy, but Booming Shot, if you get that activated, will help it out. So all in all, he does check off enough boxes to be worth it to invest in. Next value is MIKA ZIBANEJAD. So up to 84. He is going to cost you 24,500 coins to go from tier 1 to tier 7. His zone ability, Snipe and Magnetic, I am not huge on. I don't think that they are worth activating, but it's 6'2" with 88 speed right off the rip, and mid-80 shooting. He has a ton of value. He has Thief, which is one of my favorite synergies early on, and Light the Lamp as well for wingers. I do like quite a bit. Next, we've got ELIAS PETTERSSON. 24,750 coins will get you from tier 1 to tier 7. And this is a good mix. So 87 speed and acceleration. However, he does have Distributor, giving him +2 speed, and that is a synergy that you should look to activate if possible. And when you combine the fact that he's got Thief as well, again, another synergy that you want to put on any player that you have that has this as an ability outside of the speed ones, and you've got a really, really nice player. I'm not really big on his Superstar or Zone ability, but nonetheless, at 6'2", 89 speed, and mid to high 80 shooting, passing and puck control will get up to 90 overall with Distributor as well. I think you've got a really nice card here, and again, at 25,000 coins, you can't go wrong. Our next value is the 84 Kyle. Connor has 87 speed and acceleration, but does have Fly the Zone as an option, which will increase his speed by +2, as well as his offensive awareness and face-offs, although that's not really important. So Fly the Zone and Bombarded, if you have it, makes this card quite good. This is more of a not amazing right now, but could be in the future with some upgrades. So because he only costs 24,750 coins currently, his next upgrade will not be super expensive. It'll fall in around 20 to 25,000 coins. Now that could bump his speed up to 90 overall with Fly the Zone activated, and then you can use wheels. I will say this, I have used him and Braden Point, and I'm not going to talk about Braden Point. Fun fact, spoiler alert there. And the thing I've noticed is that because wheels is so expensive, it eliminates other abilities that you can put on your players. And on guys that aren't Connor McDavid or have 90+ speed, it is not that noticeable. I'm not saying it is not a good zone ability. I'm just saying it is not noticeable to wipe out 1/3 of your ability points, especially on cards that aren't elite everywhere else. Connor McDavid is in a world of his own, and I will talk about that later. That's the only thing I will say. So if he gets some upgrades and gets into the 90s, I think he could be useful, and especially because he's so cheap right now at 25,000 coins. The one thing I will say, though, about left-handed wingers is that base Taylor Hall pretty much wipes out a lot of these X-Factor cards that are pure wingers, because Taylor Hall, his base card, is incredible. So just keep that in mind. This one is right on that edge. Yeah, I just had it in there, because if he was one more tier higher in terms of cost, he would be out. But because he's going to get one more cheap upgrade under, about 25,000 coins, I still have him in there. But he is on the edge. All right, getting a little bit more expensive here. We've got these 85 Victor Hedman going all the way to tier 7 is going to cost you 49,500 coins. So we're talking about 50,000 coins here. And I'm not going to lie, I almost didn't put Victor Hedman in here. But I talked myself out of it because he's so effective at the defensive aspect of this game. This game is a lot about wiping out time and space, and defending the blue line. Victor Hedman and other defensemen that are 6'6", like Dougie Hamilton, will give you a bigger advantage than any other type of player on that back end. His speed being at 85 with no speed or skating attributes makes it tough, and not because, again, that 85 speed is the end-all be-all. It's the fact that his next card that you're going to buy is going to cost probably around 30 to 40,000 to get to his 86 overall, and his speed might not go up to 86. So then we're talking about another upgrade, and that's sitting at about, and maybe that's at 86. His shot isn't all that good either. So again, there's a lot of things working against him, but his size makes up for a lot of it. Next up, we're getting into the more expensive tiers. We've got the 85 ANZE KOPITAR, and this is going to cost you 49,500 coins to do the upgrade. All right, he comes with distributor. Huge plus there. He'll get up to 87 speed at 6'3". He's got good faceoffs and one of the better zone abilities for centerman and defenseman. Quick pick is 100% something that you want to activate on any of the cards that you have that have it. His passing with distributor activated gets over 90, as well as his puck control. And Unstoppable Force is a very good superstar ability for cards like ANZE KOPITAR because he's 6'3", he's gigantic. This is a really, really good early on card. He's got a pretty good shot to get some upgrades. Not a huge score, so it is going to be a little tough, but I think that there's enough of a possibility here that you could get some upgrades. The only downfall with these cards about being 50,000 coins is that if they don't get any upgrades, you're kind of just stuck with them as other cards improve and increase. But the fact that he's 6'3" is good enough on the draws and has 87 speed with quick pick. He's going to be on your fourth line center no matter what, no matter how good your team is for quite some time. And I think that the value is still there at just under 50,000 coins to do the full upgrade. Moving on to one of the best value X factors in the game currently, the 85 MATHEW BARZAL. This will cost you 49,500 coins to get to tier 7. He has ankle breaker and elite edges. I'm not really huge on activating these. I don't mind elite edges when it is a superstar ability, not a zone ability. And if you guys want to know the difference, essentially, it's like half of the effectiveness. So a superstar ability, ankle breaker, if you had a zone ability that was ankle breaker, it's about half as effective as if you had that. His speed at 92, that is elite at this stage of the game, and it will not fall out of being valuable until like January. So 92 speed right off the rip before he gets any other upgrades is huge, and because he's only in that 49,500 tier, his next cost is not going to break your bank account. His next cost should be around 40,000 again, and that could get you to 93 speed, which is absolutely huge. He's got some different options in terms of his synergies that you could improve upon his shot as well, like Bombarded or Apple or Light the Lamp as well. So just keep that in mind. I think that there are a lot of good options when it comes to MATHEW BARZAL. I like Light the Lamp though, and I think that that does improve some value, especially for wingers, because he has that wrist shot accuracy getting a little bit higher and hand-eye being very important. But for 49,500 coins, this is one of the best wingers that you can get for sure in the game. Another top-end value early on in the game for your X Factors is the 85 John CARLSON. This will cost you 49,750 coins to upgrade to tier 7. He comes with distributor, and then Applesauce is his secondary synergy. Again, I like Applesauce for forward, so having a card that activates it on top of his other customizable synergy is huge. It is his superstar abilities as well that give him tremendous value. Heat Seeker, advanced power from distance when taking wrist shots and snapshots. Taking a wrist shot from the point is valuable in this game because of how important tips are. Then you've got Thunderclap, which is just a phenomenal one as well. This is one of the ones that's more expensive that I think is valuable, especially on the power play and with how good tips are from the point. And the fact that there's just not a lot of time and space out there in the offensive zone, very, very valuable. He's got 88 speed with distributor activated, and he's 6'3". He checks off basically every box possible for a defenseman, and he's under 50,000 coins. This one is a no-brainer, one of the better ones, just like BARZAL in terms of value. And then we've got probably the biggest value at launch for X Factors, and that is KALE MAKAR. Now, I said with Adam Fox for having a defenseman under 5'11", it's awfully tough without an elite body checking stat because you can't really bump players off the puck. However, If you make up for it in other areas, you're laughing. And Cale Makar is the best skater on the back end right now, and you can get him for under 50,000 coins. So 49,500 will get you Cale Makar, and he's got some synergies that can improve that shot as well. He's got Heat Seeker, which is awesome from the point, and Elite Edges. Again, I don't know if I would activate that because he's already got such good skating stats with agility and deking and puck control just, off the rip. I don't know if it's super valuable to get this one, but he is so fun to break the puck out with. You can just basically beat everyone else down the boards by starting in your own zone and beelining it across the ice with Cale Makar. For under 50,000 coins, this one's a no-brainer. This is definitely one of the best values in the game. All right, moving up tiers yet again. These ones are going to cost you 89,250 to go from tier 1 to 7. We're going to start with the 86 Steven Stamkos. Now, he already got his prime time, meaning that his next card, whether it be a primetime or team of the week, will improve his X factor. A lot of people are asking, hey, Barkov and Stamkos and CARLSON, they all got new cards. Why did they not go up +1 overall for these X factors? It's because the X factors start at +1. So when you do team of the week and prime times, those are upgrading from their base cards. So now their next one is going to give you your next tier. Now it's going to be very expensive. You're looking at like 60,000 to go from this one to the next one. But the reason why I like Steven Stamkos is because he's already got 90 speed, an elite shot, and good hand stats. He's also got the Thief Synergy, which means he gets his face-off rating up to 88, and his stick checking and defensive awareness touch 90. That's a card you could have in your lineup for quite some time, and it gives you the flexibility to play him at center or on the wing. Combine that with the 1T zone ability. Again, there's not very many that are worth 10 ability points, but I don't think a lot of players are going to have McDavid, that one costs 10. So you are going to have a few cards that you can invest a lot in. 1T on Steven Stamkos is great, especially early on in the game. Next is Mark Scheifele. I'm not going to lie, he is right along the line. But at 6'3" with Fly the Zone and Light the Lamp, two better synergies, and Big Rig Superstar ability, which I really like, especially on players like Mark Scheifele. He's got 90 speed and high 80 shooting. The only thing that really kind of bothers me is that his next tier is going to be about 50,000 or maybe even 60,000 to upgrade to go from 86 to 87, and that's quite a cost. And there's no guarantee that his skating goes up. So that means that it might be another tier after that when he goes to 88 that allows him to get an increase in skating. But nonetheless, I think that even without that, his size as well as his good shot at in the high 80s, and especially if you get Light the Lamp activated, and the fact that he's got 90 overall speed, there is definitely value here with Mark Scheifele. The next one for 89,500 coins to go from tier 1 to tier 7. We've got the 86 Patrick Kane with Distributor and Light the Lamp. Again, I love that combo. If you get that activated, his hand stats are basically maxed out. He's got 92 agility, 93 acceleration, and 91 speed with everything activated. I'm not huge on either of his zone abilities. I don't think that they are worth activating. But when you consider that his wrist shot is 95 overall with Light the Lamp activated on the accuracy, which is more important than power for wingers, you've got a really, really good offensive card that's going to be really fun to use, especially if you're someone that knows how to use, the half spins and dekes very well. This is going to be a really fun card. He's an absolute liability in his own zone with only 72 body checking and being 5'10". But if you pair him with someone like Mark Scheifele, you're laughing. You're in business here. This is going to be a really good card that'll burn a lot of defensemen early on in the game. All right, and the last one in this tier of cost is Jack Eichel. The curious case of what to do with Jack Eichel. 90,000 coins, or 89,500, will get you from tier 1 to tier 7. Here is why he is very, very difficult to figure out or what to do with, because obviously he is not going to play, and probably not for a large portion of this season, so the only way that he is going to upgrade is with events and other releases from EA, which are not guaranteed, and you'll have no idea when those will actually take place. However, if you're going to put 90,000 coins into a card, this is a pretty good one. He's got Wingman. If you activate that, he's at 92 speed. Magician isn't bad, but he's got some other options as well. He does have Thief, which I really, really like, and it makes his defense even more elite. 90 speed, obviously huge. And then the Wheels Superstar ability is definitely valuable, only 5 points at 90 speed. I do like it. 6'2", great combination. The only issue is that you're putting 90,000 coins in, and there's no guarantee he gets an upgrade for like 2 months. So that's where it gets scary. Be wary of that. This is one of those cards that I would really only do if you had the base Jack Eichel. Like, if you pulled the untradeable one, I think that would make him worth it. It'll save you 65,000 coins. It is worth it in the sense that all of this is good, like his combination, but it's his lack of being able to know about upgrades that are coming down the line that make it a little scary. All right, on to the big boys. These ones will cost you 139,250 coins to upgrade all the way to the end. We'll start with the 87, David Pastrnak. He's got Light the Lamp, which, again, I really, really like. Well-rounded, not really one that you're going to be able to activate, in my opinion. Maybe, I'm not sure. But Light the Lamp is one that is definitely a viable option early on in your lineup. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 91 agility, and 95 on that wrist shot accuracy with Light the Lamp activated. His hand stats are in the low to mid 90s. An extremely good card, and you are going to be, let's say you don't upgrade him past this, again, someone you're going to be able to have in your lineup without any upgrades for essentially till like December or even January, when then it becomes kind of like a liability for you. 140,000 coins is quite a bit, but there isn't really any other cards that you're going to be able to buy that have this level of skating and shooting for 140,000 coins, especially early on. So he would be someone that I would definitely like to upgrade, especially if you get his base card. Then we've got the 87 Artemi Panarin, same cost as Pastrnak, 139,250 coins, has Thief and Bombarded. Bombarded is a synergy that I like activating. I think that the skating ones are obviously more important, as well as Light the Lamp and Thief. I really like Thief, and it makes his defense actually quite good. 96 stick checking, 92 defensive awareness. His hand stats are all in the low 90s. Shot is good. Speed's at 91. Acceleration and agility as well. I'm not huge on his superstar abilities, but again, it's the same thing as Pastrnak. Until like January, this card would not be a liability for you, so I think this is a very, very good option. Then we've got Nikita Kucherov coming in at 138,750 coins to go to tier 7. He's got Distributor as his second synergy, which is huge because then you can pick and choose which of these other ones to go out and put on him. Gladiator is a nice one because it gets his body checking to 80, but again, the choice is up to you. This is a very, very good card as well. 92 speed, 91 acceleration and agility, and then he's got a great wrist shot in the high 80s, low 90s. Superstar abilities I would not look to activate, but again, same kind of situation. There isn't many cards that combine this level of speed and shooting for 140,000 coins, so definitely one that is of value. Jumping up to the next tier, we've got the 88 Austin Matthews. This is going to cost you 188,750 coins, and this is where we need to have some conversations, because I think at face value, 190,000 coins, Austin Matthews is right along that line. He's 6'3", great size. Speed is 89 with Distributor, which is a little low, but his shot is all above 90. His hand stats, other than his deking, all above in the mid-90s, which is very good, and his defense is good as well. Heart and Soul is not going to be one that you're going to be able to activate more than likely, and his zone abilities are not that crazy. Now, however, there is one thing that we do need to discuss, and that is the fact that he is guaranteed a 91 upgrade coming out very shortly at launch with his Master Set player from the first announced event, meaning that you know that this card is going to go higher. Now, the cost to it is obviously going to be very, very expensive, but nonetheless, we know that that has the possibility of going even higher. If you pack the base Austin Matthews, 100%, you should go out and try and get his X Factor and upgrade. And in all honesty, you should probably take Austin Matthews in your choice pack no matter what, just because that we know for a fact, guaranteed, he is going to go to a 91. With all that said, he is a very, very good card. His skating just a little bit behind some of the other ones, and you could play him at center with only 78 faceoffs. It is going to be a little tough, but if you want to activate Heart and Soul, you can get that into the 80s, and then he's definitely viable. But a really good card. It is going to cost you an awful lot, though, at 188,000 coins. Then we've got Nathan MacKinnon, same tier, 188,750 coins. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, and then he's got 91 agility. But with Magician and Booming Shot activated, his agility goes almost to the max, deking up to 93. Now, I know those two synergies aren't huge for you, but Wheels as his superstar ability is huge. He's got 90 wrist shot, his slap shot just under 90, and all of his hand stats are right around 90 as well. And he's guaranteed to be, to go up and get prime times and team of the week cards because he's just so damn good. It's a very expensive card, but 200k basically is definitely worth it for Nathan MacKinnon in my opinion. I also want to mention that these higher end cards that do cost power up collectibles, the lower tier X Factors don't until they hit, it looks like 85 or 86, that will actually take power up collectibles. That definitely lowers the cost for you, and I think that that needs to come into play as well when you're trying to consider if you should go out and get these X Factors. And then lastly, Connor McDavid. So this will cost you 312,000 coins to go from tier 1 to tier 2. I'm not going to lie, that is such a staggering price that for a lot of people, you're never going to be able to get that. However, if you are someone that is chasing this, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 94 agility, you don't need to do any upgrades for like the rest of the game essentially, and you'll still be okay. You combine the fact that Wheels is so good on this card, it is absolutely wild. You put Thief on him, and now his defense is almost max, and you can put him at center with that face-off rating. Get Applesauce on him, and his wrist shot power or wrist shot accuracy is almost max as well. Passing and hand-eye at 97, 98. There are not going to be many cards that are worth 312,000 coins. This is one of them. And if you are able to get his X Factor, you want to burn all of your power-up collectibles on Connor McDavid. I have his 88 version right now, and it's not even fair. It's actually nuts how good this card is, and it is definitely something you want to go out and get. If you pack his base card, guys, super important. If you pack a base Connor McDavid that is tradable, please do not use it in this set. He is going to be worth way more than 125,000 coins. So please, unless you get him untradeable, sell that card, use the coins to then upgrade the X Factor or go out and get the X Factor card. That is a much better way to use Connor McDavid. So guys, those are all of the ones that actually seem worth it at launch of the game. There are a lot of notable ones that I left off, including Leon Draisaitl. Let's talk about him real quick. So I have his card. He is a good card, and he comes with distributor to get 88 speed. Here is the issue. I would have not done this card because it does cost a ton of coins. We're talking about 188,000 coins to go from tier 1 to tier 7. However, I packed his base card untradeable, and that wiped out the highest cost, which is basically 100k. Okay, so that will change the value. If you get the base Leon Draisaitl, then I think this card is worth upgrading. But if you do not, I would not go out and get him, in my opinion, guys. I think that he is just going to cost way too much, and his zone abilities, while Unstoppable Force and Big Rig are pretty good. Tape the Tape's not worth 6, in my opinion. His shooting is good, but that skating is just going to lag behind. You have to remember that if he's got 88 speed now, to get to 90, we're talking about 300,000 coins to go up to those tiers. So hard pass on Leon unless you get his base card. Now, I know that there are some notable omissions, like I said, Sidney Crosby, for example. I need to be clear, guys. I went through all of the cards and looked at what their cost is currently and what it is going to be. And that is a huge determining factor. If you guys want to see the full document, again, that is in my Discord. Go down in the description. You'll see my Discord link. Join the Discord. There's over 2,000 members, and all we do is talk hockey, Ultimate Team, and NHL. On the left-hand side, you'll see the X Factor chat. That is where you can find this document, and you can go and do and look and see for yourself if you think they are worth it. All of the other X Factors, guys, if you pack any X Factor tradable that isn't on this list, you want to sell them. They are going to be worth a ton. People are going to overpay. And at the launch of the game, when everyone gets a free 74, I think that's going to bring down the cost of the lower ones. And if that's the case, go out and get some of the cheaper ones that have good value. Matthew Barzal, Seth Jones, all of those. Go and try and acquire because they are worth it. So guys, I hope all of this information helps you. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for the most up-to-date NHL 22 content. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.